Okay, look, we don't have much time, so we have to talk now. You have just been involved in a crime. I don't know what the crime was, and we have to figure that out. Your future depends on it. It's your device. Yes, the one you're using right now. There's something wrong with it. It might be the hardware, it might be the software. That's what we have to figure out. No, it's not your browsing history or that stuff you pirated. And some of those jokes were war crimes, but people have politely forgotten about those. I'm talking about being complicit in a real crime, supporting an organization that did something really, really bad. I might even have a suspicion about what it could be. Could it be Facebook? Facebook, Meta, whatever you call it. Ever used it? Any of its products? You've definitely heard about that. That's a huge story. The whole company was basically built on a crime, allegedly. Zuckerberg allegedly stole the idea from frat bros. The code too, allegedly. Come on, there was a whole movie with A-list stars about it? Sure, I had to put allegedly in there because they never proved anything. Zuckerberg settled out of court and everyone went about their days. Facebook was also stealing data before it was, Facebook. And to be more accurate, it never stopped. I'm not even saying allegedly here. It was proven in court numerous times. Facebook just doesn't really care about the law. Now, the European Union basically leads the way here with very strict data protection regulations. Facebook had to pay $1.5 billion in 2023 and almost $1 billion more in 2024. Zuckerberg even asked Trump to interfere because it was easier than having to stop breaking the law in a foreign country. Don't worry, they broke the law plenty of times in the US of A too. It's just that back then the president wasn't in the mood to listen to their complaints. Wait, you're not on Facebook? Then it must be another one. Microsoft. Yeah, it wasn't built on crime in a literal sense, not even allegedly, but hear me out. Bill Gates and Paul Allen began their careers in IT, but before that, they were hacking. They admitted it. Back in high school, these guys hacked into their school's computer to move stuff around and put Bill into an all-girls class so he would stand a chance. That didn't age well. Both Gates and Allen came from a culture where hacking, and I do mean illegal hacking, was something to boast about. This culture. If you talk to any of the founders of the big tech companies, they'll tell you how awesome the hacker way is, how influential it was in the early days of their companies. But don't take my word for it. Look at their biographies, their interviews. It's chock full of that stuff. So you're not on Windows. You've never even touched Microsoft, even once in your life? Fine. Let me think about it. Amazon. Don't try to tell me you've never bought anything off of it or any of its billion subsidiaries. You've at least used the internet, and a massive chunk of that is built on AWS. Amazon's cloud empire? Yeah, you're right. Building an empire without spilling some blood is impossible. So here's how Amazon did it. They used some pretty iffy methods to put their competitors out of business. Right from the beginning, Amazon would identify a competitor they wanted to destroy, then lower their prices in that product category. People like you would flock to Amazon. The competitor would go bankrupt, and then all that was left was for Amazon to raise their prices and get their money back. It's a telltale sign of a monopoly that's been known about since the Stone Age. And Amazon has been sued for that many, many times. But they always got away scot-free. I mean, it's Amazon. They basically have all the money in the world to lawyer away any uncomfortable situation. That's why I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm not even saying it's allegedly illegal, because lawyers are still fighting about it to this day. If all goes well, they might prove it. And in that case, it might turn out that by buying from Amazon, you did support a crime. I guess that's a problem for future you. Okay, what else? Google. And we're back in privacy territory again, except it's much more difficult this time. Here's how search engines work. Scratch that. Here's how the search engine works. It has a crawl. This program that basically crawls the internet and scrapes information off of it. That information is then processed and sorted and put into a kind of a book. When you Google something, the search engine pulls up that book, and that's how it knows what you want. Web scraping, if you've heard people use that term, it's mostly because it's hugely controversial these days. People are paranoid about their data being scraped, and by people, I mean companies. They basically argue that it's copyright infringement. You using their content and making something out of it. Companies sue each other for scraping all the time. Wait. You say you've never used Google? You don't even know what it is? All right, I don't buy that for a second, but I guess I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But that means that there's only one option left. Apple. Remember that built-on-crime stuff from the Facebook example? Well, no allegedlys this time. Apple was built on a crime. The turtleneck man himself even admitted that. Here's the story. In the early days, Jobs, Wozniak, and others were all part of the same nerd hacker computer freak club. And you know what their first collective project was? Making a device called Blue Box. It would spoof the tones used by telephone networks so you could make international calls without paying for it. They were literally stealing from international telephone networks and laughing about it.
We built blue boxes. And these were illegal, I have to add.
Of course it was. Did he ever serve a sentence like a lot of other phone freaks at the time did? Of course not. His blue box probably sits in a museum somewhere. Nevertheless, it was a crime. So if you've ever bought an Apple device, you've essentially supported what is the outgrowth of a criminal organization. Have you ever bought an Apple device? Or Android? Ever used Amazon? Anything by Microsoft or Meta? Any of the big five? I mean, technically, you can get in trouble for that, but you won't. Just to be clear, they're not the only companies with shady beginnings. Dell, Michael S. Dell, cut his teeth building bootleg computers. Uber, Travis Kalanick spent his early days creating a failed competitor to torrents. Twitter, Tesla, Reddit, Nvidia, even YouTube was just a big pile of copyright issues with some nudity on top in the early days. You know, the days that made it popular. If they'd had stricter copyright laws back then, you might be using shareyourworld.com to watch this video right now instead. And what are all these companies doing right now? Well, besides fighting privacy-related lawsuits, they're all trying to enforce the very laws they broke in their early days. Try starting an unauthorized Apple service. Try stealing a piece of code from Facebook, or out-monopolizing Amazon. You can try hacking Windows to put Gates into an all-girls class, and he'll probably just laugh, but that doesn't mean you won't end up in, Don't get me wrong, I'm not endorsing crime here, but what I am saying is that the big boys would do well to have a little less amnesia when it comes to their own origins. Who am I kidding? I'm sorry for saying you might get arrested for committing a crime. I just wanted to get your attention. Some necessary clickbait. You won't get arrested for supporting big tech. Nobody will. They're the ones calling the shots. You know what? You won't even get in trouble for talking about their crimes. You can do that all day long. You can post stuff like this on their platforms like I'm doing right now. Want to know why? They don't care. Nobody cares. As long as these companies keep providing a convenient service that everyone uses, as long as they have astronomical revenue streams that justify their existence, they'll keep getting away with it. And there's only one way to break the cycle. Opt out. Stop using social media. Stop buying tech products, using services. Start a different life away from it all. You won't be able to enjoy the perks of modern life like watching your TikToks or buying the latest iPhone Pro Max Extra with the cherry on top, but that's the only way to stop it. Screw technology. Screw everything. Bury it in a hole and go live your life as a real person. Yeah, I mean literally. Down with technology. It was nice while it lasted. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, what did you think? I was gonna live out here in the desert? No, I won't. And you won't either. We're not going to abandon everything. It would mean the big tech won. And also, we would probably die. So, we better come up with a better solution to keep these companies accountable. Know any good lawyers?